Alrighty. Well, hello. My name is Gabrielle. I'm here representing the Educating All Learners Alliance. And today we're continuing our new monthly series where we go over the top resources from the previous month. So in this case, it'll be August. And then we give you some themed content to take with you for the rest of this month. So the theme for today, like I said, we're going over the top August resources. And then since it's that back to school season, we thought we would provide you with some student engagement tips for all of you educators who are jumping back into the school year. So I will go ahead. The first category of resources that we're going to share are our case studies. So these are the top case studies, and we have some new ones for you today. And I did want to preface, since this is recorded, we will be linking to all of the mentioned resources in the description of this video. So make sure you go to the description to click the links to each of the mentioned resources. So like I said, case studies. So the first case study for today is on prioritizing community and belonging in distance learning, and it's the Oakland Reach's citywide virtual hub. And so in response to COVID-19, Oakland Reach created this citywide virtual hub, which is a distance learning program. And so this specific case study illustrates the importance of shifting power to families and really prioritizing a sense of belonging. The next one is bridging private and public school placements, the partnership classroom model with the Bradley schools. And so it discusses their partnership model, which operates bridge classrooms between specialized day schools and integrating back into public schools for students with psychiatric and behavioral needs. That's a new topic that we haven't yet delved into. So we're excited about this new case study. This next one is increasing engagement in math, adapting small group instruction at Learn for Life. And so this case study describes a special education teacher's individualized approach to supporting students' learning needs at Learn for Life specifically, which is an independent study program for high school students throughout the state of California. Now, the next are two of the top resources from August. And we were excited at the ELA team. We saw a rise in searches in our research library as the school year started. So we knew that people were wanting that top information. And so the first one is the 4 digital learning tips every special education teacher needs to know. So of course, this is for both special education teachers and general educators can definitely use these for distance and digital learning. The next one is guidance on culturally responsive, sustaining remote education. So the NYU Metro Center defines culturally responsive remote education and aims to answer and provide guidance around the question, how can we continue to center equity and culturally responsive, sustaining education as teaching and learning moves online or remains online for some? Now, a topic that has really been popular within our research library, or resource library, excuse me, is related to masking. And so within this webinar, we figured we'd share some specific mask related resources for you all to check out. Now, the first one is helping individuals with autism, Now, the first one is helping individuals with autism wear face masks. And so individuals with autism are experiencing many new challenges brought on by COVID-19 and the transition throughout the past 2 years, including understanding social distancing practices and why people are wearing face masks. And so this can help you out if you work with a student with autism. The next one is tips and tricks. Children with disabilities and face masks. So the ARC of Larimer County has made a video with some of those tips and tricks to support students with disabilities when wearing a face mask. So there's some visual content for you to share. And then our last mask-related resource is ideas for helping students with multiple disabilities, including deafblindness, wear masks and face coverings. And so students with multiple disabilities may be resistant on occasion to wearing masks or face coverings at school. So this helps them to build both understanding and acceptance of masks if that is something that they need to wear at their school. And so now this leads us towards the end, which are some of those student engagement resources that we're really excited to share and that we hope you can take and learn from and benefit your classrooms this fall and beyond. So listed a few out for you here. First one is tip number 18, choosing accessible grade level texts for use in inclusive classrooms. So you can see a little bit of a description about each of these on the screen, but for those who may not be able to see the screen, it does say this tips will outline considerations for choosing appropriate accessible grade level texts for students with significant cognitive disabilities in inclusive classrooms. So if you see tips number 19 for how to create accessible texts if one is not already available. So that'll be really, really beneficial for you to create those texts. Now the next one is designing for inclusion, key takeaways and resources. So this document is a summary of the core content found within the ISTU Professional Development online course, Designing for Inclusion, which is the course that ELA collaborated with ISTE to create. We collabed with a teacher within Boston Public Schools and made this incredible course called Designing for Inclusion. It is a micro course that is a self-paced course that we actually are offering for free for any educator or person who's interested to learn about designing for inclusion. So like I said, it's a micro course, it's self-paced, you can do it at your own time. And so if you go to the ISTU Professional Development website and you use the code MICRO, EALA, so that's all caps, MICRO, EALA, and you use that when you check out, you'll get the course completely for free and you'll be able to access the content until the end of October. So definitely check that out. And so within Designing for Inclusion, it includes some key points and relevant resources to guide you in using Universal Design for Learning, or UDL, and that framework to proactively plan and design your learning experiences so that they're welcoming, accessible, and engaging for all learners. Now, the next one is 6 exercises to get to know your students better and increase their engagement. So it's perfect for what we're talking about. So this is about celebrating your middle and high school students' unique identities to bolster connections and improve performance. So if you work with the higher range of the K-12 student group, that'll definitely be for you. And now a few of our final resources. How can educators tap into research to increase engagement during remote learning? So within this document, they dive into this question. So it is a complicated question, even in the best of times, one that's been at the forefront of our daily online teaching practice and our research into the online behaviors and interactions that can have the greatest impact on successful learner outcomes. And so with research into online learning, it can provide us a starting point to make sure our students continue to be engaged within that learning process. And so, yeah, check this one out to learn more about that question. And then our final resource specific to student engagement and really tapping into that excitement for learning at the start of the school year. We have a resource called How Do I Ensure Students Are Engaged with Each Other and the Content in a Hybrid and/or Remote Learning Environment. So for those of you who have stayed online with distance learning for this next either semester, school year, or quarter, this resource compiles some guidance around that essential question on how can we support students to better engage meaningfully in ways that meet their personal and learning needs to ensure school, whether virtual or in person, is a place of rigorous learning, personal safety, and social community once again. So we absolutely want those three things of rigorous learning, personal safety, and social community, and really encourage you to check out all these resources that we mentioned within the Educating All Learners Alliance website, within our resource library. And we really truly hope that these benefit you in your classroom throughout the next few months and beyond. We hope this is helpful. I want to encourage you all to stay engaged with ELA content. I'm going to slide on over to our final slide here. So yeah, stay engaged. Like I mentioned, we are doing themed webinars each month, in addition to always discussing the top and most popular resources from that previous month. So within October, we'll be talking about the top resources from September, and then we'll be going over family engagement. And so that'll help you as you set the initial relationship with students with these resources. You can then continue that with their families with some that we provide for you next month. And these are really topics that we want to dive into because that is our ultimate goal, is to create those great connections and hear from teachers how we can best support you. So if you would ever like to reach out with a resource you think would be great in ELA's library, or if you want to get involved in our work, you can of course go to our website at educatingalllearners.org, or you can reach out directly to us via email. I included it on the screen there, and it's resources@educatingalllearners.org. So that's actually it for today. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope these are beneficial